right, now we're going to move on to subtracting decimals. So we are still going to use some of those trailing zeros to help us keep our place value. But that may be a little bit later on in the lesson. The first thing that you need to know is this. You're going to line up the place values first. So line up the decimal points first. And again, we're going to use trailing zeros if necessary to help identify the place value of the digits. We will regroup if necessary by borrowing from the place value to the left. However, when we start out, we are always going to start working with the smallest place value first. So let's say we have 7 and 28 hundredths minus 5 and 6 hundredths. 7 and 28 hundredths minus 5 and 6 hundredths. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to move from a horizontal math problem to a vertical math problem, and we are going to line up our decimal places. So 7 and 28 hundredths and 5 and 6 tenths. Remember that if it helps us, we can use those little ghosty zeros to hold the place value. Ghosty zero. So now we're doing subtraction. So hopefully you've shifted gears and shifted mindset to the idea that we've talked about in subtraction, about how we can break apart larger quantities to help make smaller quantities bigger. Okay, so first things first, 8 minus 0, we can do that easily. 8 take away nothing is going to be 8. 2 take away 6. If I have 2 candy bars, can I take away 6 candy bars from 2 candy bars? No, I cannot. So I'm going to have to do something to help myself. I'm going to reach over into the ones place value, and I'm going to break this into smaller pieces. So I have 6 ones, and I'm going to move over 10 tenths into this place right here. So the 2 becomes 12. Remember that 10 tenths equals a whole. So what we did is we took one whole from this and moved it into our tenths. 12 minus 6 is 6. We keep our decimal points lined up. 6 minus 5 is 1. Our answer is 1 and 68 hundredths. Step 1 is always going to be line up decimals. Step 2 is to put in trailing zeros if necessary. Step 3 is going to be start on the far right or the smallest place value and begin subtracting. And step 4 is to regroup when necessary. Regroup when necessary. All right. And then you finish out the problem. Let's try this problem right here. 12 and 752 thousandths minus 8 and 17 thousandths. Now, notice the first thing I did when I wrote this problem out is I lined up my decimals. Therefore, all my other place values lined up as well. Okay, this is step one. We've lined up our decimals. Do we have any trailing zeros? We don't need any trailing zeros right now. So we're going to start at the smallest place value and begin subtracting. 2 minus 7. We can't take away 7 from 2, so we're going to have to break these hundredths into thousandths. The 5 becomes 4, and we move one whole over here, so the 2 becomes 12. So can we take 7 thousandths from 12 thousandths? We can. 12 minus 7 is 5. Can we do 4 minus 1? Yes, we can take 1 away from 4. 4 minus 1 is 3 hundredths. Can we do 7 minus 0? Yes, we can. So the last two, we haven't had to regroup in those place values. 7 minus 0 is 7. Oh, but look what's coming. 2 ones. Can we take away 8 ones from 2 ones? No. So we have to regroup by taking one of these tens, which makes this 0, and putting it in with the ones. 10 ones plus 2 ones is 12 ones. 12 minus 8 is 4. Our answer is 4 and 735 thousandths. 4 and 735 thousandths.